Dude, this is the worst one of all time. This made me want to cry, dude. I didn't want to cry. I wanted to like punch this guy in the face. Yeah, so he goes all in. Easy, easy dub. What do we lose to? Jack 10, fine. If you got Jack 10, you win. What does he have? The 6-3 offsuit, baby. All right, what's going on, everybody? We are back with another video, and it's gonna be some good vibes today. Feeling good, even though we had literally the most brutal poker weekend of my life. Vibes are good. We're still improving at poker. That's the goal. In the end, we'll make money for sure. And I'm not here to complain. We're just gonna laugh at some bad beats. And one of the clips you can hear me like kind of raging a little bit. I might show that, I might not, I don't know. But we're trying to improve in poker. There's like some really good spots. I'm just gonna show like one where I get like really good value. I've just been working on improving value bets, improving folding in certain spots. So things have been going well in terms of poker improvement. The results aren't showing that, but that is life. It's all about making good decisions. You can't always control the outcome. So be sure to like the video for 3 hours of run good. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. There are timestamps in the description below, as well as links if you want to support the channel. Otherwise, I hope you guys all had a great weekend. And let's take a look at I was going to say let's look at the hands, but I'm going to show you the bankroll. Well, I'll just tell you the bankroll real quick. We had a winning session today, so it's at 24.81. But I'm also going to show you the graph from this weekend, which is, it's brutal. It's pretty brutal, but here we go. Let's take a look at it. So as you can see, we lost about 14 buy-ins over 18,000 hands. Pretty brutal. Like I said, pretty brutal session. I believe we were down like $500 in one session at some point. So it was like 10 buy-ins. Yeah, 9.5 hours. I'm sure. Maybe the graph will show that we were down even more than that. Yeah. So the worst we were down bad, man. 564. We were down real bad in that one session, but we brought it back. But over 10 buy-ins in one session, it was crazy. But let's see. So in the period of like 2 days, let's just say 27 hours of play, we lost, let's just call it $700. Yeah, so that's 14 buy-ins, and let's take a look at the graph. So it's not like our all-in adjusted was like over 0. We definitely got it in bad like sometimes, but like the amount of beats we had were brutal. And also just running like something like 7 buy-ins under EV. So let's see, 700 to about 350, something like that. So pretty crazy weekend. Like I said, down $700 in 27 hours of play, but today we are up like $200. So we've definitely put like a dent back into the bankroll health, and things are going back up. So I just wanted to show that real quick, and now we're going to take a look at some hands. So here's the first hand. We are going to lose 130 big blinds in this hand. It is going to be so sick, and it's going to be a really bad beat. We're going to get it in really good. So standard open, I'm going to make this full screen. Standard open of pocket sevens on the button. And then when we get 3-bet to a little over 4x, it's like maybe a little bit loose to, like you can say it's a little loose, depends on who you're playing, your player pool, how people tend to play. But when we're also fairly deep, well over 100 big blinds deep, against someone who also doesn't 3-bet like a crazy amount. Of course, it's only over 51 hands, but I just figured, maybe this is good, maybe this is bad, but it can't be horrible. So I'm just gonna peel sevens on the button. Sometimes we can outplay him, etc. So king king six, honestly, pretty good board for us. It's hard for him to have a king. We're beating all ace highs, and sometimes we just flop sixes full. We can represent that, and so all things considered, not a bad board for us. Um, and when we get the quarter C bet, we are definitely ahead of ace queen, ace jack, ace 10. You know, these are all hands in his range. Um, but there's also a chance we're just crushed by a king. But if we peel and we just spike a 7, then maybe we get his whole stack. So, you know, these are the things that went through my head. So I decided, you know, let's just peel. Um, and sure enough, we just binked the turn. And so we're going to see I think a sizable bet from him here. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, so something like 60% of pot, 55% of pot, something like that. Um, so at this point, I just assume he has a king. I don't know. He just doesn't, or like aces or something. I just really put him on a king here because just the weird sizing. Um, I don't really have too much else to say. I just assumed he had a king because he bet like 20% pot on flop and now he's betting big on turn. Um, so, you know, just based on how he's betting, I thought he had a king. And I'm thinking, well, I want to, you know, just try to get the money in. I've got the best hand right now for sure. I don't want to see like a queen or a jack roll off and like kill my action. Even an ace is bad. He could have ace king. You know, there aren't that many good rivers. Like 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, those are all good rivers. 6, 7, but I guess anything over like a 9, like a 9 or higher is like a bad river, which is like, you know, like half the deck or something. So I decided, you know, now's a good time to raise. I think he has a king plenty of the time. I just min raise. Um, not too much to say about that. Just trying to get money in the middle. It could look like we have like jacks and we're trying to figure out if we're good, which isn't really a play that I would make. I would just call or fold, but whatever. And then this guy makes a really bad play. I don't think you should. Okay, in my opinion, if he, well, he's like a fish, but like if you raise and you get called, when are you ever ahead? After getting raised on the turn, so you're gonna, you know, we're gonna find out he has king queen. Um, I can have ace king here. I can have sixes full, sevens full. Um, I really am not raising pocket jacks or pocket queens or pocket nines. I'm not raising anything. So I don't really know what he's doing. So he shoves, and you know, like I said, if you get called, you're pretty much always beat here. Maybe you're beating king 10 and king jack, but yeah, I really his play was not good in my opinion. So anyway, 255 big blind pot, and boom, we get hit with the old what is that? One out, three outs, five outer for a massive pot. So that is no fun. And unfortunately, this was just the theme of the weekend. Here we pick up aces, and we play these aces like actually perfectly, which you know, I'm proud of. So this isn't. I mean, it is a bad beat, but it's just playing aces really really well. And so I just wanted to show this hand. I thought it was really really good. This guy is just running so hot and playing so bad. Um, you know, you're gonna see. So we are like pretty darn deep. You know, we're over 200 big blinds. Savage is over, you know, about 400 big blinds. This guy's over 100 big blinds. So, um, and we also don't really want a three-way pot with aces. So we're sizing up a little. Oh wait, do we not size up? I thought we go like a little over 20. Yeah, so we go a little over 20 big blinds, and Savage is gonna cold call a 4-bet out of position, and you'll see what he has later. But if you look at those notes really fast, let's see if I can pull them up really quick. Well, basically, I'm not gonna pull it up. It just says that he will call crazy hands out of position. Knowing what I know now, I wish I would have raised more because he's so stupid. But in my mind, I'm just thinking, okay, 20 big blinds out of position as a 4-bet, like you surely can't be calling anything, right? So we see a pretty safe flop. You know, we're worried about jacks, of course. So um, when he calls, I put him on like sevens, eights, nines, like sixes, sevens, eights, nines. Like that seems right in the range of people who would like, or even no. I guess it is important to show that note on him. He cold called like 3-bets with like king nine suited out of position. So let's see if we can pull that up and see exactly what it said. 3-bet, call 4-bet, king 6 suited from the small blind, call 4-bet, king 9 suited. So we're not really that like it's not connected, it's not suited. There's just so many hands that he's capable of playing so stupidly that we're not that worried about it. And then Peanut, you know, we're kind of putting him on 10s plus. So sometimes we're losing to jacks, but a lot of times I think he has kind of the same range, 7s through 10s, queens maybe, like all of these like you know, medium to strong pocket pairs. But you know, we're definitely value betting. We don't think we're really behind here. I don't think we're really folding to Peanut, but we're definitely like not happy to see Savage call. I kind of expected both of them to fold, and then it's a pretty bad turn. Now we're losing to jacks and 10s. So I believe we check it back unless we just... No, we're not going to stick it in. We're going to check it back. I'd be surprised if I bet. I'm pretty sure I didn't bet. So I think I like to check back. Bad river. So now we're losing to jacks, 10s, and 8s. But we aren't... We're not sure what to do yet. So when we see Peanut jam, it just seems too convenient. You know, maybe this is just experience or something, but I'm just like, it just seems too convenient that like, okay, now you're just gonna jam the river for like. I just think that people with an actual set here are gonna bet smaller. I think they're gonna bet like half pot, especially when I just showed all this weakness. Like I could easily have ace king here, and I think he's just gonna go for value with his value hands. I don't think he's gonna shove here. And I think we would have heard from him on earlier streets if we were beat. So I actually just didn't believe him. I thought he had like 7s or 9s or even like queen jack or just something that wasn't actually a made hand. And so I made the hero call here. As we are going to see. Just thinking it through. Like I said, or he could even have something like king queen where he's just like, people just spaz out in these big pots and they'll just ship it in. So I thought I was just too strong to fold here, and then we get the bad news. So when he shoves here, we just know he has a set. He called the flop, he slow played the turn, and then he check raises the river. I just don't think he's ever doing this without a set. So we're gonna fold with incredible pot odds, 100 big blinds to win. Well, we're not entitled to the whole pot because a lot of that is let's see. Probably like 5. So we're getting like 6-1 or something like that. I don't know the math, but we're getting amazing odds. But I just decided, you know, I just don't think he's ever bluffing here. I just think he has a set, and I had the soul read on both of these guys, but I still lose this 400 big blind pot. with aces. So it's just a sick pot. After already running bad, I was very proud of how I played this, so I thought I'd throw it into the video. This is going to be pocket kings. This was a little bit earlier in the day. So basically, very standard 4-bet. We got kings on the button. Goes open 3-bet, and we're going to 4-bet. We don't, we 4-bet bigger than, we're cold 4-betting, and we're deep. I just go a little over 2x. You don't really have to go over this because I don't know. If we're doing this with like ace king, we're not really, we just want to stay balanced and not just start like shipping in our chips. And we also don't even have aces, so I just thought 20 big blinds is a fine size. Then we get 5-bet jammed on. And so what I'm thinking in my head is, okay, aces, definitely possible. Also, blue is type passive, so that means, this guy is very strong. But I think ace, king, aces, and queens are all in the range of jamming here. And then when we see the call, we're just like, there is no way this guy has ace, king. If he has ace king, he's either jamming or folding. He's not calling. If he has queens, he's probably folding. Jacks are folding. So what is the one hand that just flats a 5-bet? And it's like, well, it's got to be aces. So, sometimes Fable has aces, but I think this guy just has aces like 100% of the time. Kings are jamming. So I made another hero fold, and I was right again. You love to see it, man. Just the aces. So we got away. We saved another buy-in by not jamming with kings, showing a lot of discipline in these last few hands. And we wouldn't have won either. So that's we didn't get the needle on top of it. Because sometimes you make the hero fold, and then you get the needle that you would have won anyway. But that did not happen, and we made the right fold. Alright, so this is a hand that I was proud of because I got really good value from. So I don't want to go too long on this. So we get a standard, standard c-bet. We've got an overpair. There's a ton of hands that can be calling this. 7-8, 6-7, 4-5, 5-7. All of these connected hands. 5-6. Even like pocket fours. There's just so many hands that can be calling a c-bet, so we're absolutely betting for value. Here we are slightly worried. We lose to 7-9, though we're blocking 2 9s, and then we also lose to something like 8-10, occasionally like Jack-10, but the 10 isn't too much of a scare card. We're not really that worried about it. But at the same time, it's hard to get another street of value from something like an 8. I mean, maybe not. Maybe an 8 would call here, but it's just thin. We don't necessarily have to be value betting this turn, in my opinion. And then the 10's really good because, first of all, he might bluff at it. Second of all, it just makes it less likely that we're beat. And we're just happy to see it. So when we see this blocker bet on the river, it's basically telling me he has an 8 100% of the time. No one is betting a straight here with a straight or trips or a full house for a quarter pot bet, especially this guy. Me and this guy play a lot. He definitely would not be making this play with a strong hand. So I'm considering calling, but then I'm thinking, like there's just no way. Just my whole thought process that I just said. There's no way he actually has a good hand where he's doing this to raise. And then on top of that, our line is going to look very bluffy. And what's more is that when someone blocker bets, they're more inclined to call against someone who's capable of bluffing because they cap their range and they know that someone's capable of making a play. So for all of these reasons, I just decided I'm just going to pot it because I bet this guy's going to, kind of level himself into thinking that, not even level himself, just think that like my range just isn't that strong. Like this is just an obvious bluff spot after someone caps their range like he did. So I just potted it and got a 51 big blind pot with, we barely saw it there, with pocket nines versus I want to say king eight. Let's try to catch it. Sorry for the annoying clicking. I'm just trying to see what hand he had. Oh, ace eight. So we got a really fat pot with ace eight, and that was just like another spot I was very proud of to get like absolute maximum value from this hand. I think next we have another brutal beat where we're gonna lose a 220 big blind pot with like by far the best hand once again. So I'm just this is just how the weekend's been going. This isn't even all of them, but so we 4-bet with ace jack offsuit. The reason I'm doing this is because here's my logic. I don't know if this is the best poker logic of all time, but ace queen offsuit, typically a 4-bet bluff. Right now at 15L blitz, like people aren't 4-bet bluffing that much, so I'm adjusting my gameplay to 4-bet bluff slightly more because I think it's profitable right now. That is my line of thinking. I am not, the best poker player in the world, so I don't know if that's great line of thinking, but that is what I believe, to be, reasonable. So I'm 4-bet bluffing here with ace jack offsuit. Blocks jacks, blocks aces. That's what I thought. So at this point, we're just repping aces or kings. We are just trying to induce folds. This is definitely a bet that aces or kings would make. You don't want to see a 10 queen jack. You don't want to see anything if you have aces here, so you're just kind of trying to bet big. And this guy decides to call, and then we just bink the turn. Sometimes we're losing to pocket eights, pocket nines, and pocket jacks or pocket queens, but I think the majority of his range is like even something like queen jack, pocket tens. Yeah, so we're not positive yet, but I think we have the best hand here a lot. Sometimes we're losing to queens, but I think like tens and like queen jack and jack 10, these are all kind of like I just felt like that was reasonable. He also has a 33% fold to 4-bet, which means he's very sticky. So given all these factors, I think, well, we have ace king here a lot. If he has a pair, he's going to jam it for less than pot. And I think if we're betting, we're only getting called by better, but we can induce bets from worse hands. So for those reasons, I decided to check call, assuming that he would jam. So I believe he jams. Yeah. So we just snap him off, and he's almost drawing. No, not dead. He's got, let's see, 2 plus 8 outs. So he's got 20% or something. And of course, because of how we're running, he just drills the river. Feels real bad, man. Dude, this is the worst one of all time. This made me want to cry, dude. I didn't want to cry. I wanted to like punch this guy in the face. So we got kings on the button. We get 3-bet by this guy who's shown to be very crazy already. So we're absolutely always 4-betting, and we're just trying to get money in the middle because our range is just absolutely destroying his range. We have kings. We see a really good board. We got the king of hearts. It's hard for him to have a 10, and he kind of has to play, if he has something like queens or jacks, he kind of has to like keep playing this hand. So we are, just thrilled about this spot, and we bet about a third of pot, just standard. We get check raised. We're so happy to see the check raise. So for that reason, we just call. There's no point in raising, in my opinion. Very safe turn. We're very happy to see it. And he bets, if not all in, most of all in. Yeah, so he goes all in. Easy dub. What do we lose to? Jack 10, fine. If you got Jack 10, you win. What does he have? The 6-3 offsuit, baby. 3-betting and calling a 4-bet, and then check raising the flop with the 6-3 offsuit, only to get runner. So I think he has 2% equity on the flop, only to get runner runner boat and cracking my kings. Um, so that's another $117 pot where we have way the best hand and we just get absolutely crushed. Um, this guy, man. All right, so this is the last one. We are going to have a blind battle with Holmes or Helms or something. H-A-L-M-E-S. So we have queens, and we get 3-bet, and we're 4-betting for value. We're willing to get it in with queens in the blinds. Pretty simple. And then we see like an okay flop, obviously not great. We're losing to jacks and tens, but we're crushing every other hand pretty much. He's not flatting with kings or aces, I don't think. So sometimes he has eights or nines. Sometimes he has like king jack, king 10. So yes, sometimes we're losing to sets, but a lot of times I think this is just a good board for us still. We bet not huge, a little under half pot. I I might even like betting more than that, to be honest. But maybe I'm setting up for a turn jam. So the 7 is actually just amazing for us because now we beat Jack 10 as well. We're pretty much just like so rarely behind here. I think I checked though, and I'm trying to think why. I think my thought process was this is how I'd play ace king, and I want worse hands to jam. And kind of the same thought process as earlier, which is like it's hard to get called by worse, but you can induce bets from like protection bets from other hands quite often. And so that was our thought process here, and we just snap off, no problem. And wouldn't you know, we lose to ace jack for another $122 pot. So I'm going to pull up my face here. So I calculated it out, and I don't know the actual equity, but we had like way the best hand in all of these spots that, most of the spots that I showed where we got it in. And even though we had way the best hand, we lost all those pots, of course. So we lost about like $570, which was, after today's little upswing, it accounts for like the entire loss. So we would be way up because that would account for all the loss, and then we still made some money. So yeah, man, sometimes you just run really bad for like 2 or 3 days straight, and then that's just poker, I guess. But that is gonna wrap up the video. I want to double check I didn't forget anything that I wanted to say. All right, I think that's it. So thank you guys for watching. So really, I appreciate it so much. Hopefully you learned some stuff. Hopefully you guys are running good, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.